guys, this is Kirob speaking, and in today's little dev update we are going to mainly talk about the open beta and what to expect of it. It is very close, about 1 day from now. Let's get started with what to expect, the new flow and stuff. Now it's all in finally, and it's still a bit buggy in places, and we are sorting these things out. But let me just load in this family car we have seen so often in the little dev updates. And now I have, how many trims are these? 5 trims. And it's completely built, it's all fine. Now we can go through engineering, and we could select some Andrews, of course, and oh yeah, we have new sounds as well. That's kind of nice. And then you can select how you want to engineer this. For example, we want to make this one more reliable, but you see the time is just increasing insanely. So we might not want to do this anyway. Okay, so you see what you are engineering here. You get your costs, and they are much more realistic now. No more 10 millions to engineer 5 cars for 5 years. It would cost a bit more in reality, and this is much more to the point. Also, this scales with technology here. So if you're trying to engineer a car in 1940, you won't be paying that much, even if it's considering the inflation, because basically you had no real tools to use apart from pen and paper, and that's not that costly. The prototyping would be more costly back then. Alright, so let's take a look at what more there is. And here we see, yep, there are 3 engines. And here you see the number of trims using that engine and how much it costs, and so on and so forth. Now, finally, factories are working. This is still a placeholder image, obviously. You get a bit of data down here, and it tells you the average production cost. This doesn't include the engine production cost, nor does it include the actual material costs. And you see that there is a certain number of slots which are recommended for a certain factory size, and if you build a tiny factory, well, you only really want to build 1 trim, maybe 2, and you will definitely not be able to produce many cars like this. Alright, then the same thing as we have seen before is still here. You can choose the quality of your production, and all this I'm talking about now. This is open beta stuff then, once it's out. And you can set your production here and your quality threshold, as you can see there, and see what slowdown it causes and how much that changes the cost per car. And that cost per car now includes, let's see, this was a medium factory. Let's go to a huge one so that we don't get a penalty. The penalty is still not shown there. We will include this today. And yeah, okay, now that's better. So $3,000 per car there for just production costs. This is without materials. And then we do the same for the engines and can set those up. And you can also have several engine families, and then you get more tabs down here in order to set up several factories. It's all kind of working and neat, but still a bit buggy in places. Anyway, once you get to the end, you may have noticed there is a little market tab here. And that one is cheating a bit, because it's not really there, but it's back there at the end. And what this does, right now the arrow is still not working, is to bring you back to a slightly changed market overview tab. So you're really just being in there in the markets tab. What changes here is that you now, instead of getting an estimate price, you do get a actual price figure, and that will help you see how you market your cars properly. So if you then notice that shit, it's kind of expensive, so maybe I should not invest so much into making better reliability or other things. Maybe you don't want to get rid of your super expensive racing trim because it just takes too much time and incurs too many costs. So That might be an idea. Speaking of that, let's see the 160R version, how this one does. As soon as you select it there, and you have gone through the whole process once, you will automatically get a finished price figure here, an accurate one, and that will give you a better idea of how to sell your cars to the various market demographics. That is basically what is included in the open beta. So now let's talk about topic number 2. Yes, topic number 2 is about rushing the open beta out because we are actually not in office for a while, and that is because GDC in the States, and Caswell and Andrew are visiting GDC there, and then add a week on top of that to drive around the country a bit. They have never done so, seems like a good opportunity. And that means that we want to get the open beta out as soon as possible because they are leaving on Thursday. And that means that probably tomorrow morning our time will be the release of the open beta. Maybe noon or something after we fixed a few more bugs. Maybe even evening if there are many more bugs. And I can tell you there are plenty. So that means that we didn't get everything up to polish as we would want to. For example, scenarios are not working at all. As you can see, they are rather deactivated right now. That is because if you would press this button and load a scenario, it would crash right now because we have so many changes to the underlying structures of automation. All the saves, all the cars you've built are now put into a single database which can be accessed by the program, and it makes just the overall logistics of loading things and stuff much faster and more reliable too. And yeah, that is something which we will put in again after we are back, and that means you will have to play without the scenarios in the open beta at least. I guess you guys who are in the open beta don't really care about the scenarios anymore anyway, so that shouldn't be a big hindrance. But yeah, just to warn you, instead of complaining that we have removed all the scenarios, well, they are still there, they just are not working right now. And yeah, so we will be out of office basically from the 10th of March until the 24th, so 2 weeks time. And as soon as we are back, we will wrap this thing up, take all your feedback into consideration, and check out all the bug reports. And from there, we are going to wrap this up and release it before continuing into the next sub-project, and that will be a very interesting one. And I will again make a video about this later. And like I always do, once the sub-project is finished, I make a video about the overview for the next sub-project, and you will be loving it, I think. Alright guys, I think that is all for now, and yeah, I will be posting on the forums, the Steam forums, and the Automation Facebook, and our own forums once we are released into the open beta. Please note, this is only Steam open beta, and you will have to opt in manually. If you are already opt into the open beta, it will just automatically update the build as soon as it is live. No, you don't need a key in order to unlock it. It is an open beta. So that means if you are asked of a key, you are doing it wrong. You're clicking the closed beta. That's not it. Alright, I think that sums it up nicely, and see you guys next time.